Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Foxy New.
Judgment Day has finally come for Danny Jacobs and Daniel Dubois. And look, let's just break it down. And we start with Daniel, the garbage man, Jacobs. And when you look at this guy, he's an absolute clown, moron, and an idiot. He fought Gabe Rosado, which was a clear cherry pick, which was a clear tune-up fight when he didn't have to take the fight. And what was so interesting about it is the guy got a split decision, controversial victory over Gabe Rosado, where most people felt like he lost that fight. How do you go into a fight, cherry pick, and then struggle? You needed to struggle and get a controversial victory over a cherry pick? That's garbage truck juice. This Daniel Jacobs has declined. This is not the same Danny Jacobs that beat Sergey Devryanchenko, that fought Canelo, that fought Triple G. This Danny Jacobs is a cherry picker. He's on the decline. The guy is not the same, and he's out here showing why you don't cherry pick, because it could turn against you. It could go wrong. And this was one of the worst fights I've ever seen. Danny Jacobs at this point is garbage truck juice. We got to be real about it. But the most interesting thing about Danny Jacobs is the fact that he wants a rematch with Canelo Alvarez, and he states things would be different if we fought again. Danny Jacobs is absolutely delusional. If you fought Canelo Alvarez again, this guy would end your career. Canelo Alvarez would put this man to sleep. Canelo Alvarez has already won a clean, concise, decisive victory over Danny Jacobs at 160, and then Danny Jacobs made excuses about the weight. But now he has no more excuses about the weight at 168. What will be your next excuse? Because if you see Canelo again, you're getting put to sleep. At the end of the day, you don't deserve a shot at Canelo Alvarez. You've done nothing to deserve a shot. Cherry picking Gabe Rosado does not get you a chance at Canelo Alvarez. This guy is delusional. Think about it like this. Gabe Rosado's last 6 fights before coming in this fight against Danny Jacobs, 3 of them were losses. So 3 out of his last 6 fights were losses, and then Danny Jacobs comes in, struggles, and arguably robs a guy who was a cherry pick. That's garbage truck juice. This is the same Danny Jacobs who said, before the Gabe Rosado fight, this is the perfect gatekeeper for me in Gabe Rosado. So you were looking for a gatekeeper. This guy admits it. He even admits that he turned down opportunities to fight champions. He admits that he ducked champions to face a gatekeeper in Gabe Rosado. This is the worst case of cherry picking I've ever seen, and DAZN just allows it. This makes no sense. They didn't ask this man to take no pay cut. This is garbage. And then not only on top of that, what champion did he duck? What champions are on Matchroom at 168? So the only 2 champions on Matchroom at 168 are Callum Smith, and it couldn't have been Callum Smith because he's fighting Canelo, so it had to be Billy Joe Saunders. And ironically, Danny Jacobs says the Saunders fight is appealing to me, could be made easily. So the fight could have been made easily, and you turned down champions who were likely Billy Joe Saunders to face a gatekeeper, in your own words, in Gabe Rosado. Danny Jacobs is officially a ducker, idiot, and a coward. Let's keep going. And then we get to Daniel Dubois versus Joe Slow Motion Joyce. And we look at this fight and we give Joe Joyce all the credit in the world for getting the victory, but both of these guys look vulnerable in this fight. You've seen Daniel Dubois rock Joe Joyce multiple times. You've also seen Joe Joyce, light up Daniel Dubois with the slowest jab ever known to man. But at the end of the day, you give Joe Joyce the credit. Now, when you look at it, a lot of people are calling Daniel Dubois an absolute quitter in this fight for taking a knee. But let's be honest and unbiased about it. According to Michael Benson in the Athletic Box, Daniel Dubois has reportedly suffered a fracture, orbital socket, and nerve damage to his face in his fight against Joe Joyce last night. It's said to say that he's going to see a specialist tomorrow to decide whether he needs surgery. So at the end of the day, the guy might need surgery. So you're willing to let a 23-year-old young fighter who is fighting for a domestic level title go blind just to prove to you that he's not a quitter? That got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard or seen. At the end of the day, this guy's a long career ahead of him. You can bounce back from a loss. You can be great after a loss. Look at Klitschko. Look at AJ. Guys come back stronger after losses if you truly are meant to be a great fighter. But this is the type of situation where people calling this young man a quitter makes 0 sense to me. But also, the real reason why this is a judgment day for Daniel Dubois and his team is simply because of Frank Fish-Eyed Warren. And Frank Fish-Eyed Warren stated that, everyone will be running scared of, Daniel Dubois. And he wants Dubois versus Anthony Joshua next. Now, and, he said this a few months ago. Now, the reason why that these guys are getting judgment for it is because you are overhyping this kid. I mean, at the end of the day, saying everybody's going to be running scared and he can't even get past the jab. Stop mentioning his name with Anthony Joshua. Stop clout chasing Anthony Joshua's success. This guy's nowhere near the level of an Anthony Joshua. If the slowest jab in the world can punish your eye and break the socket, what do you think Anthony Joshua will do to this guy? We got to be honest and unbiased. This is Judgment Day.